Hey buddy, they're watching you. Right now. Every move, every smile, every little spark of brilliance you try to hide, they see it, and it scares them. Huh? Yeah, it scares them more than anything else could. You've felt it before. That glance from across the room, that whisper that stops when you enter. That tiny tremor in the air when someone realizes you don't fit their rules. They've never met anyone like you. And here's the delicious truth. They will never be ready for it. Not today. Not tomorrow. Not ever. You walk into rooms like a storm nobody can predict. And some people can't handle storms. They want control. They want to tame, to tear down, to carve out your light so they can breathe a little easier. But you're not built for easy breathing. No. You're built for impact, for chaos, for truth, and it terrifies them. You see, there's a particular kind of energy that comes from someone who refuses to be small. It's sharp, it's messy, it's real. It disrupts their carefully folded little world. And when you shine without permission, without asking anyone if it's okay to exist, that's when the jealousy begins. It bubbles, it hisses, it gnaws at the edges of their mind. You've probably noticed it, the way people circle, whisper, judge, try to predict your next step. They think if they can just scare you, distract you, or belittle you, you'll fold. They think if they can target you, they can make you ordinary. What a laughable idea. You're not ordinary. You were never made for ordinary. And the moment they realize that, that's when the fun begins. Let me tell you something that nobody else will say to your face. When a group tries to pull you down, it isn't because of you, it's because of them. Weak, insecure, desperate to feel strong, they attack what they can't control. And that's exactly what you are. Uncontrollable. You're a force they can't understand. And the more they push, the more they expose themselves. Every whisper, every glance, every attempt to corner you. They're showing you who they really are. And you get to watch it. You get to see the strings, the tricks, the shallow strategies that crumble under pressure. And trust me, they will crumble. There's an edge to you. A kind of fire that flickers when the world is trying to snuff it out. And that edge, it's frightening to some. It makes them jealous. It makes them panic. It makes them reveal the worst parts of themselves. And you know what? That's okay. It's better than okay. Because while they waste their energy trying to drag you into their chaos, you're already 3 steps ahead. Always ahead. Already building, already rising, already becoming someone they cannot contain. You're the kind of person who breaks patterns, who sees truths they refuse to see, who moves through walls while they tiptoe along the floor. And when you show up fully, they notice, and they hate it. But here's the secret twist. This jealousy, this targeting, this venom they spew, it's fuel. It's the kind of fuel that lights fires where other people have only darkness. And here's the kicker. You don't have to fight them with their own weapons. No. That's the rookie mistake. You fight them with your vision, with your presence, with the unshakable certainty that you belong where they fear to tread. Every insult, every rumor, every calculated move to push you down, it just adds momentum to your rise. And isn't that delicious? Isn't it satisfying to know that they are wasting all their energy trying to stop a force that doesn't even care about stopping? So pay attention. Watch closely. Feel the tension. Taste the fear. Notice the envy. It's all there, dancing around you like moths around a flame. And that flame, you are the flame. Let that sink in. Theirs is a world built for mediocrity. Yours is built for impact. Yours is built to leave a mark they can never erase. They don't just dislike you. They fear the truth you carry. And that truth, it's too big for them. Too bright. Too wild. Too undeniable. Take a deep breath. Smile. Yes, smile, because right now the stage is yours. Every sideways glance, every whispered plan, every jealous thought, they're all part of the act. And the act? It's not about them. It's about you. About stepping into the power that comes from being unmatched. The power that comes from walking through fear without flinching. The power that comes from knowing, absolutely knowing that no one, and I mean no one, has ever met anyone like you. And when they finally realize it, when they finally realize it, they will wish they had never tried. All right, listen closely. This is where most people stumble. They panic. They shrink. They let the whispers, the sneers, the petty attacks define them. But not you. No, no, no. You don't get to be defined by the noise of the weak-minded. You get to define yourself every single time. And that is where the game changes. Because once you understand this, once it clicks in your bones, suddenly the world stops feeling like a threat. Suddenly, every jealous glance, every snide remark, every targeted move, they become tools, weapons, fuel, and you wield them effortlessly with that dangerous grin that says, yes, I see you, and I'm untouchable. Own your space. Literally, physically, emotionally, everywhere you go, take it. Don't apologize for it. Don't shrink to make them comfortable. Their jealousy thrives in small spaces, in corners, in shadows. But you occupy the entire room. Let your presence speak before you say a word. Let your posture, your gaze, your calm intensity communicate one thing: you are unmovable. And the funny part? They'll notice. They'll fume, they'll whisper, and all the while you're untouchable. Weaponize your awareness. Notice the patterns, the timing, the tactics. They target you because you are unpredictable. Good. That's exactly where you hold the upper hand. No, no, no. Don't just react. Anticipate. When you know what they're trying to do, you're no longer a target. You're a master of the game. Every attempt to corner you becomes a chance to step aside, to pivot, to turn their effort against them. They think they are hunting. Little do they know you are already 2 moves ahead, always 2 moves ahead. Amplify your uniqueness. Let them see it, clearly, unapologetically. Don't hide your talents. Don't downplay your quirks. The things that make you different, the things they envy, show them off. Let it be impossible for them to ignore. It's intoxicating, isn't it? To watch their frustration grow while you thrive. To see them scramble while you smile calmly at the chaos they manufacture. That's power. Real power. And it's all yours, if you choose to embrace it. Turn envy into motivation. Every jab, every insult, Every tiny attempt to derail you, use it, stack it, store it. Let it drive you harder, faster, smarter. No, no, no. Don't let it corrode you. Let it sharpen you. The more they try, the stronger you become. Every attempt to bring you down is just another brick in the foundation of your rise. Every jealous act is a spotlight shining on your brilliance. And here's the truth. They can't stop you because they can't create what you create. They can only react. And reacting is exhausting. You, my friend, you are the storm they never saw coming. Master your calm in the eye of their jealousy. In the center of their chaos, remain composed. Let them erupt while you stay steady. Let them make noise while you make progress. The calm is terrifying. It's magnetic. It's proof that nothing they throw can touch you. They think chaos will scare you. But here's the twist. They are the ones unraveling while you are unshakable. And the look on their faces when they finally understand it, priceless. Laugh. Yes. Laugh. Laugh because their envy is their own cage. Laugh because you've turned their attempts into fuel. Laugh because you know the truth. They will never meet anyone like you again, ever. And while they fumble in frustration, you move, you rise, you dominate, not with force, but with presence, not with anger, but with vision, not with desperation, but with clarity. Every move you make now is deliberate. Every choice you take now is a declaration. I exist. I thrive. I conquer without ever touching a fight that isn't mine to win. So here's the final truth. They can try. Oh, they can try. But you are prepared. You are aware. You are unique. You are unstoppable in your own way. I mean that in the best possible sense. And when they look back, when they realize that every attempt to bring you down only made you stronger, they will understand what they could never have imagined. Some people are built for mediocrity, yes, but some people were built to rise above it all. And you, my friend, are one of them. Now comes the moment where most people break. Most people fold. Most people let the fear, the whispers, the targeting crush them quietly in the corner. But not you. No, no, no. Not today. Not ever. Today. Today you step forward. And not just forward, beyond. Beyond their reach. Beyond their understanding. Beyond the petty limits they've tried to place around you your entire life. It's intoxicating, isn't it? To feel that power rising in your chest. To know that every single jealous move, every sly attempt to take you down, has only made you stronger. Look around. Really look. Can you see it? Every failed tactic, every sideways glance, every plan they plotted to corner you, it's crumbling right before your eyes. They are unraveling because they forgot the most important rule. You cannot be contained. Yes, they forgot that. And that's your advantage. You don't need to fight them head on. You don't need to scream, argue, or justify your existence. You simply exist. You move. You thrive. You rise. And they are left with their jealousy, their frustration, their small, weak attempts, pathetic, but deliciously revealing. Here's the truth. No one else will tell you. They are scared of what you represent. They fear the fire inside you. They fear your clarity, your confidence, your refusal to bow, to hide, to conform. And the most powerful part? You get to use that fear. Turn it into fuel. Turn it into momentum. Every whisper against you becomes a step toward your rise. Every scheme they plot becomes a chance to show them just how untouchable your mind is. They are giving you everything you need to dominate without even realizing it. And you are taking it all. Step into it. Own it. Smile at it. Yes, let them see that smile. Let them see that calm, steady confidence that says, I know exactly who I am, and you're just background noise. Every time they try to target you, you don't flinch. Every time they try to push, you don't crumble. Every time they try to intimidate, you don't hesitate. You are beyond their tactics, beyond their jealousy, beyond their comprehension. And that is your true power. Intoxicating, isn't it? And here's the final move, the ultimate lesson. Let their attempts fuel your greatness. Let their envy illuminate your path. Let their targeting be the spotlight that shows the world. No, shows you how far you can go. You are not just surviving. You are thriving. You are not just rising. You are towering. You are not just unmatched. You are unforgettable. Every attack, every attempt, every sideways glance, it all leads to the same conclusion. They will never meet anyone like you, ever. And that, my friend, is the sweetest, darkest truth of all. So take a breath. Yes, take it deep. Feel it filling you. Feel it sharpening you. The jealous group, they will crumble. Their schemes, they will fail. Their whispers, they will echo into nothing. And you will walk forward, eyes wide, mind sharp, heart steady, knowing exactly what you are capable of. You will step into the world like the storm they never saw coming, leaving behind nothing but awe, confusion, and the undeniable truth. You are extraordinary. You are fierce. You are unmatched. And the moment they realize it, the moment they realize it, they will wish they had never tried. Remember this. Etch it into your bones. The next time they target you, the next time jealousy rises around you, the next time someone dares to underestimate your power, you will not just survive. You will rise. You will dominate. You will thrive. Because they've never met anyone like you, and they never will. Now listen closely, because this is where most people stop. Most people hear the whispers, feel the stares, sense the jealousy, and they freeze. But not you. No, no, no. You don't stop. You don't hesitate. You don't let anyone define the limits of your existence. This is your moment. Right now. Right here. Every jealous glance. Every calculated attack. Every underhanded attempt to bring you down. It all converges into one undeniable truth. You are meant to rise. The moment you realize the man who betrayed you is wealthy is the moment your mind either collapses or awakens. Because betrayal hurts differently when it comes wrapped in success. It cuts deeper when the one who smiled at you now stands higher than you. And it poisons your thoughts when you watch the world applaud someone who stabbed you in the dark. You replay the memories, the promises, the nights you trusted him, and the question burns louder than the pain. How did he win while you lost? But listen carefully. What you are feeling right now is not weakness. It is the raw signal of transformation. Most people drown here. A few rise. And the difference between them is not luck, not money, not connections. It is understanding. Because the wealthy man who betrayed you is not your enemy. He is your exposure. He is the mirror that reveals everything you refuse to see about power, about people, and about yourself. At the heart of this message is this: betrayal is not the event that destroys you. It is the moment that exposes your level of awareness and forces your evolution. Most people misunderstand betrayal because they focus on the person who did it instead of the version of themselves that allowed it. That is why betrayal feels humiliating, especially when the betrayer becomes wealthy or successful. It creates the illusion that morality lost and manipulation won. But that interpretation is shallow and emotional. The deeper truth is that betrayal is a brutal form of education. When someone close to you betrays you, especially someone who later prospers, it reveals the gap between intention and strategy. You were moving through life believing loyalty alone was enough. You believed good intentions would protect you. You believed trust should be given freely. The betrayer understood something you hadn't yet learned: the world does not reward intention. It rewards awareness and execution. This realization hurts because it forces you to confront not just their actions, but your own blind spots. Betrayal exposes where you operated emotionally instead of intelligently. It shows where you ignored patterns, dismissed red flags, or valued comfort over clarity. That exposure is painful, but it is also priceless. Pain burns away illusions faster than success ever could. In one moment, betrayal compresses years of lessons into a single shock. It teaches you how power actually moves, how people prioritize themselves, and how trust without boundaries becomes weakness. The wealthy betrayer becomes a symbol in your mind, not because he is superior, but because he represents what happens when someone understands the system before you do. His success forces you to stop romanticizing fairness and start studying reality. This is where the keynote transforms from despair into power. Once you understand that betrayal was not random, not personal, and not meaningless, you stop being a victim of it. You become a student of it. The true danger is not betrayal itself, but staying emotionally trapped inside it. If you keep replaying the injustice, you remain stuck at the level of the lesson without graduating from it. The keynote demands a shift. Stop asking why it happened and start asking what it revealed. When you do that, betrayal becomes a turning point instead of a life sentence. This understanding changes how you move forward. You no longer give access easily. You no longer confuse charm with character. You stop investing loyalty blindly and start investing it intentionally. You begin building strength through discipline, skills, and self-mastery instead of seeking validation or fairness. This is not about becoming cold or cruel. It is about becoming conscious. In the end, betrayal does not elevate the betrayer as much as it refines the betrayed, if they choose to learn. The keynote is simple, but ruthless. Betrayal is exposure, and exposure is the gateway to evolution. Once you see this clearly, you are no longer weakened by what happened. You are sharpened by it. Is this success without integrity creates power, but power without peace eventually becomes a prison. When a wealthy man betrays someone close to him, the world often misreads the outcome. From the outside, it looks like he won. Money, status, influence. These symbols convince people that betrayal was a smart move and morality was a weakness. But this perspective only measures visible results and ignores the invisible cost that follows a life built on manipulation and self-interest. A person who betrays to rise trains himself to view people as tools rather than allies. This mindset can generate short-term success because it removes emotional hesitation and replaces it with ruthless efficiency. However, that same mindset destroys the possibility of genuine trust. Every relationship becomes transactional. Every partnership carries suspicion. Even loyalty, when received, is doubted. Wealth grows, but peace shrinks. Control increases, but freedom disappears. This reveals that the betrayer's power is unstable by nature. He knows, consciously or subconsciously, that the method he used to climb can be used against him. If he could exploit trust, so can others. If he justified betrayal once, he will justify it again, and so will the people around him. This creates a life of constant vigilance. The higher he rises, the more he has to protect, and the fewer people he can truly rely on. Meanwhile, the one who was betrayed stands at a crossroads. They can chase revenge or validation, or they can choose mastery. This is where the imbalance quietly begins to shift. While the betrayer expends energy maintaining appearances and guarding his position, the betrayed has the opportunity to rebuild from a place of clarity. The loss stripped away illusions. The pain forced introspection. And that internal work produces something money alone cannot buy: stability of identity. This is not about moral superiority. It is about long-term sustainability. Success rooted in betrayal requires constant reinforcement through control and fear. Success rooted in self, mastery compounds through competence, discernment, and quiet authority. One path is loud but fragile. The other is slow but durable. Over time, the difference becomes undeniable. The betrayer may remain wealthy, but he becomes trapped by his own strategy. He cannot slow down, cannot fully trust, cannot ever relax. His wealth owns him. The betrayed, if they learn correctly, gains something more subtle and more powerful: autonomy. The ability to move without fear of exposure. The ability to build alliances without paranoia. The ability to sleep without watching their back. The exposes a hidden truth of power. Peace is the ultimate indicator of real success. Anyone can accumulate money by compromising values, but very few can accumulate both strength and peace at the same time. When you understand this, envy dissolves. You stop measuring yourself against someone else's outcomes and start measuring yourself against your own evolution. In the long run, the betrayer's wealth becomes a cage built from his own choices, while the betrayed's growth becomes a foundation for a life that cannot be easily shaken. That is the quiet reversal most people never see, but it is always happening beneath the surface. Is this emotional attachment without strategic awareness is the greatest vulnerability a person can have. Betrayal becomes possible, not just because someone else chooses to act selfishly, but because trust was given without structure, boundaries, or observation. This keynote is uncomfortable because it removes the comfort of blame and replaces it with responsibility. It does not excuse betrayal, but it explains how it gains access. Most people are taught that loyalty is a virtue on its own. They are taught that being genuine, open, and forgiving makes them strong. In reality, Those traits only become strength when paired with discernment. Without awareness, they turn into predictable patterns that manipulators study and exploit. The wealthy betrayer did not randomly succeed. He recognized emotional availability as leverage. He saw consistency where you saw connection, and he used that knowledge to position himself advantageously. This forces a shift from emotional thinking to strategic thinking. Emotional thinking asks, how do I feel about this person? Strategic thinking asks, what do their actions consistently show? Emotional thinking values history. Strategic thinking values patterns. Emotional thinking seeks harmony. Strategic thinking seeks clarity. When emotional thinking dominates, red flags are reframed as misunderstandings, and warnings are dismissed as negativity. This is how betrayal quietly prepares the ground long before it happens. Once betrayal occurs, the emotional mind wants comfort. It wants validation, sympathy, and explanations. But the strategic mind looks for data. It examines where boundaries were absent, where assumptions replaced verification, and where access was granted without accountability. This analysis is not self-punishment, it is self-upgrade. It ensures the same scenario cannot repeat itself under a different face. It also exposes a harsh truth about growth. Emotional maturity is not about being softer, it is about being clearer, clear with expectations, clear with consequences, clear with yourself. People who operate strategically are not heartless, they are selective. They choose where to invest their emotional energy because they understand that attention is currency and trust is capital. When you internalize this keynote, your relationships change. You no longer overshare to feel connected. You no longer confuse intensity with intimacy. You observe before you commit. You test consistency before you trust. This does not make you isolated, it makes your connections stronger and fewer. Quality replaces quantity. Depth replaces exposure. Over time, this shift transforms your entire approach to life. In business, you negotiate with clarity instead of hope. In friendships, you look for alignment instead of familiarity. In personal growth, you stop seeking emotional highs and start building emotional control. Betrayal becomes unlikely not because people become better, but because you become harder to exploit. The wealthy man who betrayed you thrived on your emotional openness, without boundaries. Your evolution ensures that no one thrives that way again. This is the power of the third keynote. It turns emotional pain into strategic intelligence. It replaces blind trust with conscious trust. And once you reach this level of awareness, betrayal no longer defines you. It becomes something you have outgrown. Is this silence? Discipline and self-control are the most dangerous forms of power after betrayal. When people are hurt, their instinct is to speak, explain, expose, and seek acknowledgement. They want the world to validate their pain and recognize the injustice. But the moment you speak from emotion, you give away leverage. You reveal where you are still wounded. The betrayer learns that you are still reachable, still reactive, still tied to the past. Silence interrupts that dynamic and shifts the balance of power. Silence is often misunderstood as weakness or avoidance. In reality, it is containment. It is the decision to process internally rather than perform publicly. Discipline begins when you resist the urge to narrate your pain to people who cannot change the outcome. Every time you choose restraint over reaction, you reclaim energy that would have been wasted on explanations. That energy becomes fuel for rebuilding. This emphasizes that real recovery is invisible. Growth does not announce itself. Transformation happens in routines, habits, and private decisions no one applauds. The betrayed who moves loudly remains emotionally anchored to the event. The betrayed who moves quietly begins to detach. Detachment is not indifference, it is control. It is the ability to remember without reliving. Self-control becomes your shield. You stop checking on the betrayer's progress. You stop comparing timelines. You stop imagining conversations that will never happen. Each of these actions may seem small, but together they form a psychological boundary that protects your focus. Focus, once restored, becomes momentum. The wealthy betrayer often expects collapse, retaliation, or continued dependence. Silence disrupts those expectations. When there is no reaction to feed on, no narrative to manipulate, the betrayer loses relevance in your internal world. That loss is more powerful than confrontation because it removes their influence entirely. Discipline also reshapes your identity. You begin waking up with purpose instead of resentment. You replace emotional rumination with physical and mental structure. Training your body, sharpening your skills, organizing your time, these acts seem unrelated to betrayal, yet they are direct responses to it. They signal to your mind that chaos no longer controls you. This teaches that self-control is not suppression, it is redirection. You are not ignoring the pain, you are using it. You channel it into improvement instead of explanation. Over time, this creates a version of you that is steady under pressure and unrecognizable to those who once had access to your emotions. The long-term effect is quiet authority. People sense when someone is no longer reactive. Your presence changes. Your decisions carry weight. You no longer need to prove what happened or who was wrong. The truth lives in your composure. Ultimately, silence, discipline, and self-control do not erase betrayal, they render it powerless. They transform a moment of loss into a foundation of strength. When you master this keynote, you no longer seek closure from others. You generate it within yourself, and that is the highest form of control. Is this true victory after betrayal? Is not surpassing the betrayer in wealth or status, but surpassing the version of yourself that was vulnerable to being used. Many people set their motivation on external comparison. They want to be richer, louder, more visible than the one who hurt them. At first, this feels empowering, but it quietly keeps the betrayer at the center of your ambition. Your growth becomes reactive instead of sovereign. This keynote shifts the goal inward, where real and permanent power is built. Betrayal creates a fracture in identity. You question your judgment, your worth, and your ability to read people. If this fracture is ignored, it hardens into cynicism or insecurity. If it is confronted, it becomes the starting point of self-mastery. The real work is not proving anything to the outside world, but rebuilding trust in your own perception. When you learn to trust yourself again, your instincts refined by experience, you become unshakable. This emphasizes that evolution is internal before it is visible. Wealth, recognition, and influence can be outcomes, but they are not the foundation. The foundation is discernment, boundaries, and emotional regulation. When these are strengthened, External success becomes sustainable rather than compensatory. You are no longer chasing success to heal a wound. You are building success as an expression of clarity. Surpassing your former self means confronting uncomfortable truths. It means admitting where you avoided responsibility, where you sought validation instead of alignment, where you ignored early discomfort to preserve connection. These realizations are humbling, but they are also liberating. They give you back agency. You stop seeing betrayal as something that happened to you and start seeing it as something that awakened you. As this shift settles in, comparison loses its grip. The betrayer's progress becomes irrelevant, not because it failed, but because it no longer defines your direction. Your milestones are internal, improved discipline, calmer reactions, sharper judgment, stronger standards. These are the metrics of real advancement. They also reveals a paradox of growth. When your focus turns inward, your external presence becomes stronger. People feel the difference when someone is no longer seeking approval or validation. Your words become measured. Your decisions become deliberate. Your energy becomes grounded. This attracts opportunities and respect without pursuit. In time, you may surpass the betrayer materially, or you may not. That outcome becomes secondary. What matters is that you are no longer living in reaction to the past. You have reclaimed authorship of your life. The wound that once dictated your behavior becomes a scar that reminds you of your strength. The final off this keynote is simple and uncompromising. The highest form of success is becoming someone who cannot be easily manipulated, emotionally destabilized, or redirected from their path. When you reach that state, betrayal loses its power entirely. You are no longer competing with the man who betrayed you. You are aligned with the man you were meant to become. Is this long-term power is built through patience and positioning, not urgency and reaction. After betrayal, the natural impulse is to rush, to fix, to prove, to recover lost ground as quickly as possible. Urgency feels productive, but it often recreates the same conditions that allowed betrayal to happen in the first place. When you move too fast, you skip observation. When you skip observation, you repeat patterns. This keynote teaches that restraint is not delay, it is strategy. The wealthy man who betrayed you likely understood timing. He waited. He watched. He chose moments when moves would cost him the least and gain him the most. That same principle must now be applied in your favor, but without sacrificing integrity. Power does not come from speed. It comes from alignment between preparation and opportunity. Patience allows you to rebuild from a position of strength rather than desperation. Instead of scrambling to restore what was lost, you begin constructing something more resilient. You invest in skills that compound quietly. You study systems instead of shortcuts. You choose environments carefully because environment shapes behavior. None of this is dramatic, but all of it is decisive. This also reframes waiting. Waiting is not passivity, it is calibration. During this phase, you refine judgment. You learn to recognize when an opportunity is real and when it is bait. You stop reacting to every stimulus and start selecting responses. Selection is a mark of authority. People with no power respond to everything. People with power choose. Positioning becomes central. You place yourself where growth is inevitable, not where comfort is guaranteed. You align with people who challenge your standards rather than affirm your habits. You design your life so that even small actions move you forward. This kind of positioning takes time, and that time is an asset, not a liability. The betrayed who rushes seeks emotional relief. The betrayed who positions seeks long-term leverage. One feels busy but stays fragile. The other moves slowly but becomes formidable. Over time, this difference widens into a gap that cannot be closed by shortcuts. This also dissolves the fear of being left behind. When you understand positioning, you stop worrying about who is ahead or behind. You focus on trajectory. A well-positioned path outperforms a rushed one every time. You learn that progress measured internally is more reliable than progress displayed externally. Eventually, momentum arrives, but it arrives clean, not chaotic. When opportunity meets preparation, action becomes effortless. There is no panic, no overextension, no need to betray values to keep up. You move because the moment is right, not because you are afraid of falling behind. That leaves you with a quiet confidence. You are no longer reactive to betrayal or impressed by speed. You trust the process you are building, and in that trust, you gain something rare, the ability to wait without weakening and to act without hesitation. That balance is the essence of enduring power.